Hello, this is Cosmic Cray. I'm doing a video on Go programming, and I basically got a project here where I got this website here, and it's basically it's a group of events, and you can make posts, and these posts all have a title, a name, and a detail. This is all stored in a MySql database. So I'm going to kind of show you how to get this data in the format where a JavaScript can pull this data in the format of JSON. So JavaScript can parse this out and display it in a format such as this. For example, this would be some. This is actually the post I just wrote, just to give you a quick idea of what we're doing here. Okay, so to show you here, we got 3 files. I got data.go, home, and routes.go. And these files basically comprise the whole project as far as the Go source code goes. And so let's just start with data.go. Data.go is basically the pinnacle to the connection between the program and the MySql database. This is basically my back end. You can see that we have all these imports here, and I have this nice little function called newOpen, which is just used to open a SQL database connection, and it returns the connection in the form of a DB struct, which is just a pointer to the SQL database. I have here some image structs and some posts because my posts consist of titles and also images. Here we have a get post, which has a query, the query, and it parses it out with a scan. Let's just kind of quickly go over this. Here's my insert post. In my get post, and I have an image dimension little helper function, which basically opens the image path for a given image path and just returns the image width and its height. It's very useful for parsing out an image, because my SQL database doesn't actually hold a path to each a reference to each image, because each post could have multiple images. So it just retains one reference, which will be the containing file name for all those images. Just to kind of look back at that, this is kind of that would be the image name, the file name that contains these images. Okay. So we'll go and check out routes.go. Actually, let's start with home, which is basically home.go is my main. It should be called main.go. I'll maybe fix that at some point. Here is function main. You can see that I'm calling that newOpen function that I declared in data.go. Here is checking for error and a defer, and new router is actually declared in my router.go. Or routes.go, which we'll check out here in a second. And you can see that it's being passed in that database, that pointer to the SQL database here inside the new router. Okay, so routes.go, all my imports. I have a struct here of type route. It has type of the function handler. This is all pretty basic stuff. And I'll link some links and kind of what helped me build this, so maybe you can do this for yourself. Here's that new router function. You can see that database, that pointer to the MySql database is actually being passed in here. And I'm actually storing it as this this database data handler, which is an interface, which actually contains these posts, or these functions. And if you remember back at data.go, all those functions actually have that DB tag on it, so that allows me to call all these functions and actually all reference the same SQL database. Yeah, I actually went through and built get post just a moment ago, but I recorded it and I got to the end of the video and I noticed I wasn't recording sound. It was pretty disappointing. I'll post some more stuff if this is helpful at all. Maybe an actual walkthrough of me typing the code. This is just kind of a scan through. But it's all my code, so you could retype all of this. So we'll keep going through here. This is setting the router with these routes. This is the slash events news. You can see slash index, so that's just the page. So yeah, so we'll check out some of these function handlers. Render is is something I use on a lot of these functions. It's basically my template render, and like my basic functions that don't really use my front end struct here, basically are normally the ones that are calling the render. These functions handlers are very simple, just showing a static page basically. Yeah. So you can see also I'm using a session cookie. If I go back up here, I'm actually setting this session cookie here. Also the data handler here. But I'm not actually using the session cookie at all yet. I might get to that. That's basically for securing login sessions or anything that you really want to store on the client end, maybe some encrypted cookies so they can't really read them. So let's go through here. Show post is my front end data handler for returning a JSON of a post that is returning this JSON here in the form of this post. Get post does almost the exact same thing, but it's multiple posts. So you can see that these functions look very similar. This one takes in the ID of that post. Another one here is when you're a put. We get a put request for these things, and we'll just kind of go back up here real quick. Yeah, so you can see that these are all get, and that's where I'm passing in that variable. So get post, we had a new post. We're creating a new one, parsing it out. An image upload is a nice little thing I found online, and I'll put a link to it. But it's it just parses out a multi-part form, and can read. It just takes in images. That's all it is. It's just an image uploader, and uploads it to a certain file name. Yeah. Okay, well, I guess that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching, and I hope this was helpful.